Good morning, everybody. Today I wanted to talk to you about the narcissist and how they cannot be around functional behavior for a prolonged period of time. Normal or functioning, meaning the processing and communication of emotions between two people. That is, they both know how the other feels, they both have a way of accepting their ways about each other and understanding each other. Emotions have to get transmitted correctly, and the problem in the situation with the narcissist is they are emotionally deregulated, and they use you to emotionally regulate them, and so you become their punching bag, and they do not process any of their emotions. And a lot of the things that they do, almost everything that they do is evil, and so then they throw it all on you. And unfortunately, you can't, there's nobody in humanity that can handle that every day and be a healthy individual. You just can't do that. And in a relationship, a healthy relationship, it's supposed to be a partnership. I mean, you can't just be a trash can for somebody else's emotions every day. And that's essentially what you become. It's not something that you like, but it could be something that you fall prey to, because in the past you fell prey to this in your family unit, the family unit that you were born and enmeshed in. And then when you leave the family unit comes the interpersonal love partner relationship, and they perpetuate the same thing because they have the same disease. You vetting them and you having correct boundaries is if you have the correct boundaries, once you wake up to this and you get your boundaries set into motion to where you're not going to accept certain things, meaning you want the same, you want reciprocation, you want the same reciprocity, you want the same energy that you put into it, you want out of it, you want fairness, and you want truth, and you want to be able to live your natural self in a relationship and feel confident and comfortable with your partner, and know that they have your back. There's trust in the relationship. You can ask them anything, that you should get a decent answer, something that suffices, and that you feel like you're in something healthy to where it's not volatile, it's not up and down, it's not every time you're with them you feel like it's a bad decision for you to even be with them. Those situations are things that you need to set in motion if you haven't already. Only accept those things. That's to love yourself. And another thing that I found is a commonality in these situations is sometimes people can come to you and you may like things about them to where you'll accept more because you like the idea of them more, and you can't do that. Everybody has to be treated the same. If you love yourself, everybody gets caught up in the same boundaries, meaning if you push the boundaries and you're there's no respecter of persons here. How about that? It's kind of like you can't give everybody the front seat all the time. If they come late, they get the back seat, and that's just that. But the narcissist cannot be in normal functioning behavior for a prolonged period of time, because it makes them know that there's something terribly wrong with them. And so they have to deregulate everything in your life so that they can have complete control over you. So anything that's challenging to good boundaries, behaviors in your life, they have to deregulate it. Because if you keep it regulated and you keep your boundaries on point, then they can't be around you. It's like an insecticide to an insect. I mean, they will have to leave. That's why when this applies to people that don't get caught up in these relationships, that's because they instinctively will catch on to a narcissist if they're in the first few dates with them, and they won't allow them to get past certain boundaries, and the narcissist won't like that, so they will leave them. But the narcissist usually vets these individuals so that they don't even get in these situations. And so will a normal person. And you'll find this in empaths that have woke up to this, and like us, and they have built good boundaries so that when they deal with it, and they maybe in the past it didn't work well for them because they didn't love themselves correctly, have the correct boundaries, but now they have, because they understand and they've been through the trenches. Well, they won't allow this anymore, so they'll also pick up on it instinctively, intuitively, and on an emotional level, and they won't allow it. The same thing goes for, people in normal families, the normies. There's some of them that are very intuitive as well, and they grew up with good boundaries that were taught to them, and they refuse these situations, and they're not going to pour their heart out for somebody like that, and it's not fair to them, so they already know this. They're not going to allow that either. And then the other individual would be, of course, the narcissist. The narcissist picks up on another narcissist, and they're not going to allow that. But they're not built like that anyway, so they're going to know real quick. But this is where the narcissist is really good at devising their evil, is they'll pick up on these situations in your life early on. They'll ask you some questions, they'll get you to change your mind, they'll get you to accept a few things, and it's insidious, meaning it's slow moving. And they want somebody who's malleable, somebody that they can bang into place with a hammer, and form you into what, they want you to be constructed into, so that they can work their deceptions in your life and get away with it, and for you to allow it. So there's a vetting process between both love partners. Of course, the narcissist doesn't love, but I'm just using that so you know where I'm coming from. If you're not going to drop your boundaries and you're going to call them out on things, then you're not going to be suitable for them. They're going to know that, and you're going to know it as well. They cannot have censorship when it comes to you. They want to erode all of that. They want everything to be non-censored for them. They don't want anything to challenge them, no personal boundaries, and they want to move all of that out, so that anything that challenges the control of the narcissist over your life, it has been eradicated. It has been pushed out. It has become the enemy. They want no regulations, and this is where everything stems from in the relationship with the narcissist. It stems from this right here. Once you allow your boundaries and these situations to be put on a boat and shipped out to sea, you're like a city without walls. So when the enemy comes, you're going to get trampled. And that's what the narcissist does to you. An environment with rules, boundaries, and censorship cannot exist. The better you feel is the worse they feel. They're the opposite of humanity, I always say. And so in this case, it pertains as well. When you feel good, then they're concerned that they don't have enough control over you. That's how they feel when you're doing well, when you're happy, or that you're superior to them. They can't have that. It's like they have an inverse relationship with you at all times. That's why you can never change the narcissist, because they gauge everything on the level of a state of inversity. I don't know if that's even a term, but they look at they follow your emotions, they follow how happy you are, they follow your challenges and all your accolades, and basically they operate off all that to work insidiously against you. Because when you're conquering things in your life and having, in a good way, having power over things in your life, then they can't have that. That means that they have lack of power and control over you, and that you're living at a level that's far superior to them. So they got to break those things down. They want also to divide and conquer in your life without looking like the enemy, without looking like the one who devised all of this. And they want to look like the good guy and divide and conquer between you and your friendships, you and your family, you and everybody in any situation, so that it looks like you're the issue, you're the problem. So they create all of this confusion and disarray in your life, and they hate functional problem solving. They hate good processing between you and them, because if that's the case, they're completely afraid of it. Also, if you have followed any kind of personal improvement that you are improving upon in your life, that the narcissist will come in and destroy it, because this threatens their ability to survive. This threatens them, and it makes them to look at themselves and to reflect back at themselves that something's terribly wrong with them. So this is kind of in simple form how the narcissist comes in takes over slowly and insidiously, and they want somebody who's malleable, and they want to break all your walls down, all your regulations, and that way that they can be in complete command of your life. And they don't love you, so complete command of your life means to say that you are there for everything. You're there to support them in everything, to handle and regulate their emotions, and to do all of the chores around the house, and have no boundaries while they cheat on you, break you down, destroy every relationship in your life, anything functional in your life. Any self-improvement is self-destructed, and so that you are completely reliant on them, and that you are sleeping with the enemy. So you want to learn to love yourself. Everybody, nobody is, you have no respecter of persons. Everybody is treated the same regardless. You got to love yourself by forming good boundaries and staying away from toxic people. And so if you're out there today, give me a like, subscription, and a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Peace be out.